Alright, what's going on everybody? My name's Cast. Welcome back to another episode reaction of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. This time we're on episode 2. So I'm just coming off of recording episode 1 and already I can tell the show is going to be something special. It was pleasantly surprising the way it took a little bit of a slower pace and approach. It subverted some tropes, it didn't go for tragedy and death and sadness immediately, although there was a little bit of sadness, I gotta admit, but it doesn't really register with us whenever we see it through the perspective of Frieren, who, kind of like us as a watcher, wasn't really there for the entire journey. I mean, she was there, but as far as how she perceives time being an elf, that time was so short and it was so almost insignificant to her, it seems at that moment, that things were not really processing with her the same way until she really stopped and thought about it. That's when it started to mean something to her. So the show can explore so many different things already. The OST is gonna destroy me already, I know, in some of these more emotional scenes. But I'm super excited to get into it and I hope you guys are as well. If you want to watch my reactions to the next episodes right now, you can do so over on my Patreon. The Soul tier will give you 1 week of early access, 1 episode ahead, and the Ascended tier will be multiple episodes early. Please go check that out. The link is in the description. And with that being said, let's jump into episode 2 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End.
長距離魔法は魔法使いに必須な3つの要素の合わせ技で構成されているんだけど、一つは魔力の量とそれを打ち出す力の強さ、そしてコントロールする力。ここまでは知ってるよね。はい。
It's interesting because even though I don't know Fern very much yet, she does seem very like Frieren in some ways.
けど、魔力をコントロールする力はとても高いみたいだね。みんなそこで手こずるんだけど、その心配はなさそうだし、気長に取り組むことだね。
Is she fishing with her magic staff? That's kind of what I'm stuck on at the moment, because that's pretty cool. He did mention that Fern is a refugee of a war in the Southern Islands or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. So perhaps the things she's gone through in the past is partially to do with the fact that she's so mature and calm for her age. And maybe a little bit disconnected too. I don't think Frieren likes the cold too much. Hyther doesn't like the broccoli. 4 years have passed again. And Hyther does not look a day older.
それだけ魔法が好きなのでしょう。それでも一人前になるのはまだ先のことだ。魔導書の解読の方が早く終わるよ。
Alright, so she is still working on it.
ねえ、ハイター。この魔導書だけど、多分。
No. I mean, I know it's coming, but not now. Not like that.
そんな顔をしないでください。今までまともに動けていた方が奇跡だったのです。
魔導書の解読急ぐよ。
お願いします。
Yeah, unfortunately, whenever you become so old or so frail that you get a bit bedridden, usually it's not too long after that.
まだ一番いいは打ち抜けておりません。それはいずれ必ずできることだ。今はいずれではダメなのです。いずれではハイター様が死んでしまう。
She wants to do it for him.
方に命を救われました。
今死ぬのはもったいないと思いますよ。も
ったい
ない。もうずいぶん前になりますか。古くからの友人を亡くしましてね。私とは違ってひたすらにまっすぐで困っている人を決して見捨てないような人間でした。
Is he referring to Heimel?
ある時ふと気がついてしまいまして、私がこのまま死んだら彼から学んだ勇気や意志や友情や大切な思い出までこの世からなくなってしまうのではないかと。あなたの中にも大切な思い出があるとすれば死ぬのはもったいないと思います。
ハイター様はずっと私を置いて死ぬことを危惧しておりました。あの方は正しいことをしたのです。救ったことを後悔してほしくない。魔法使いでも何でもいい。一人で生きていく術を身につけることが私の恩返しなのです。
Wow. So one of the immediate things that I think about when I'm hearing this conversation, how she wants to do this for him so that way he doesn't feel it's a waste for saving her. A quote from ReZero that is one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard from a show. Well, I'm not going to spoil the context of which this was said, but a parental figure said this to our main character, who is still a teenager in that show. The main character was so concerned about doing things for his parents to make sure that it was worth it for them to have him, essentially, or that they would never be disappointed in him or this or that. And the quote that I always remember, that always stuck with me, is when his mother said, "We didn't have you because we wanted you to do something for us. We had you because we wanted to do something for you." And I can't help but feel, from the very little time we've spent with Hyther, that's probably how Hyther feels. He wants to pass down his memories and share his memories and his knowledge. He wants to pass something on to the future generations, because what we do for other people, that affects far past our own lives. Or it can have that ripple effect if we take that experience and we take what we are and we give it to other people. That's what we live for. And Fern, in a lot of ways, is doing it for him too. Her purpose right now is for him, just like his is for her. But I don't think she realizes that yet. It's not transactional, it's altruistic. It's love.
救ってよかったと、もう大丈夫だと、そう思ってほしいのです。私が教えたことは全部覚えているよね。はい。じゃあ好きにすればいい。
Pretty cool. Walking on water, meditating while on the middle of a lake. That'd be pretty nice. Wow. This music is so intense. It gets so loud out of nowhere. I turn my headset down a little bit. Did she do it?
死者の蘇生も不死の魔法も書かれていなかったよ。
そうですか。
知っていたの？
死への恐怖は計り知れないものです。そんなものがあるなら、エイビヒ自身が使っていたでしょう。
True. Very true. I didn't even think of that.
どうなりましたか？
まだ荒いところはあるけど、一人前と言っても遜色のないレベルだよ。
そうですか。間に合いましたか。もう足手まといではありませんね、フリーレン。
Now you can take her on as an apprentice properly.
あなたの旅に。
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
ごめん、ハイター。それだけはできない。
Hyther was playing the long game in a way that makes sense to Frieren.
解読の手間賃は机の引き出しに。今夜にはここを立ってください。
Ooh.
何のつもり？
見ての通り、私はもう長くはありません。私はあの子にこれ以上誰かを失うような経験をさせたくないのです。フリーレン、ゲームを頼みましたよ。
That's kind of him, but at the same time, I don't know if it's necessarily wrong for her to have that experience of losing somebody.
お前が死ぬまでにやるべきことは、あの子にしっかりと別れを告げて、なるべくたくさんの思い出を作ってやることだ。
フリーレン、あなたはやはり
I agree with her though. And embrace the time you have left and not look away from it. Not have her look away from it. And don't give yourself the way out where you don't have to say goodbye. He's doing what Heimel would have done. Yeah, exactly. It's so interesting how we probably got less than 10 minutes of Heimel's screen time when he was still alive, but his legacy is being passed on through other people and through multiple generations, and that's kind of like exactly what I was saying before. And she hit the rock. And I like that she did that off screen. It's very symbolic that she hit the rock off screen, because it's not exactly it's not what it's about. It's not the point. The point is so much larger than that. The point is more of an emotional point. The point is doing something for somebody else. Man, this show is gonna have so much for me to just like hit the stop recording button on when I'm done recording episodes and just sit back and think about it. There's going to be a lot of that because I'm sure I'm already missing stuff. But granted, I don't have context, and there's already going to be like foreshadowing and stuff that I'm going to miss. But I'm already trying to lock in on some of the central themes of the show. And it's so interesting how they're using time, but they're doing it in such a creative, but yet like very simple way. This is exactly the type of stuff I love and the type of stuff I love discussing. So I'm really excited about this reaction series. Exactly like he asked her to do many years ago. It didn't have to be magic is the episode title. Interesting. It's 26 years after the death of Heimel the hero in the Turk region located on the Central Islands. Is it Himmel or Heimel? I don't know. Fantasy and German names are always hand in hand.
冒険者なんてこんなものだよ。報酬は何だったのですか？民間魔法。温かいお茶が出てくる魔法だって。後で実験しよう。この前は銅像の錆をきれいに取る魔法。それまた前は甘いブドウを酸っぱいブドウに変える魔法。変な魔法ばかり集めていますね。趣味だからね。
Hey, you know, being able to make warm tea anywhere, it's pretty useful.
ほどほどだよ。フェルンと同じで。少し違うような気がします。同じだよ。
I need them to have that conversation. In what way do they think they're the same and different? And I wonder how common elves are. Like, we haven't seen any other ones. Oh, hey. Look who it is.
勇者ヒンメル様の像ですか。
ひどいありさまでしょう。年寄り一人ではもうどうしようもなくてね。村の人たちはもう関心がないのよ。
Did he save the village? Ooh. And this is the old woman, I would assume. He does everything with a calm smile.
村が魔物に襲われた時、必死に戦ってくれたのに、こんな仕打ちはあまりにもかわいそうだわ。
村人が像を建てるって言った時に断っていればよかったんだ。
大丈夫？このポーズイケメンすぎない？
ポーズ18時間悩んで職人さんブチギレさせるし。
18 hours choosing a pose.
バカみたいに無難なポーズに落ち着いたんだよね。
そういえば勇者様ご一行にはエルフの魔法使いがいたわね。
The very same.
片付けようか。
That's cool. There's just so much to this that I just keep thinking about.
フリーレン様、花畑を出す魔法使えましたよね。そうだね。何か適当な花でも。いや、草月草の花がいいか。
Blue moon weed flowers. Is it his favorite type or something?
ではなぜ？ヒンメルの故郷の花だ。
Oh, okay.
見たことない花は魔法では。
It's interesting because she very distinctly remembers that conversation. It's like she does have the memories, but maybe she's just been suppressing it.
昔はあの森の奥にも群生地があったんだけれどもね。
Squirrel.
ここら辺にはもうないの？
絶滅したのよ。この大陸での目撃例はもう何十年もないわ。
Sounds like a new mission.
フェルン、行くよ。はい。
Oh, did she just steal something? Did she just stuff the squirrel in her jacket?
怒らないから見せなさい。
She did. Oh, there's two of them.
シードラットだね。
Or seed rats.
森へ返します。
They don't look like rats, but whatever. I'm not a biologist.
探しに行こうか。本気でございますか？少し前までこの森の奥に群生地が。何十年も前です。でも探す価値はあるよ。実物を見つけて分析すれば、草月草の花を咲かせる魔法が手に入る。ヒンメル様のためですか？いや、きっと自分のためだ。
Dude, there's just so much to this show. Like, I'm still thinking about when the old woman said that the statue has fallen into disrepair and that there's nobody around that really cared anymore because his actions in some way, because they happened so long ago, have been forgotten. People might not even know who the statue is of or why it's there for, assuming that it doesn't get passed down in the stories. So it's very interesting. There's a lot of talks of legacy and doing things for other people and how it affects other people and how those things can stay or how those things can fade. Frieren, I'm just wondering more about her because we don't know very much of Frieren's backstory. Is the fact that she's a mage and the fact that she says that she's similar to Fern, why are they mages if they have a sort of indifference to magic? Well, Fern is doing it because of Hyther. Frieren, we don't really know why she's a mage. Is the fact that she's just alive for so long, maybe because she doesn't have something she specifically wants to do, or she doesn't really fear the end, she has nothing really pushing her forward, kind of like I mentioned in that last episode. Maybe the fact that she doesn't have that push, she's just kind of doing whatever is a way to pass the time or whatever she's good at. She might be apathetic, but you don't want to just sit around and do nothing all the time because even I've done that and that drives me insane. Maybe she's just doing all of this to pass the time and she's not really looking for a deeper reason, but now she's starting to. She said she's not doing it for Heimel, she's doing it for herself. It's a bit of an emotional journey for her, perhaps. I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot going into this, and it's just, I'm trying to process it while watching it and commentating at the same time. It's not easy, I'll tell you that. Oh, hell yeah, that's cool tortoise. Why is she always so tired? And always getting trapped headfirst in different things. Damn. They make the medieval fantasy setting look so peaceful and fun. And so nice.
フリーレン様、蒼月草を探し始めてからもう半年になりますね。そうだね。そろそろ探索範囲を広げようか。
They might start having conflicts of interest because of how they perceive time. Fern might feel like they're wasting too much time on this.
あなたたちが村に来て随分になるわね。蒼月草は見つかったのかしら。
見つかると思いますか？フリーレン様の魔法に対する執着は異常です。このままでは何年でも何十年でも探し続けてしまう。ありもしないもののために時間を使うだなんてあってはならないことです。
若いわね。
私の考えは間違っているのでしょうか？
そうは思わないわ。でもフリーレンさんにとっては違うのでしょうね。
Yep. Doesn't really concern herself with how she spends her
だけど
time.
彼女の方が私たちよりもずっと大人だから、その気持ちを素直に伝えればきっと分かってくれるはずよ。
Fern and Frieren don't really seem like the type to talk it out, but it might need to be done. The question is, how does Frieren respond to this? Does she accept? Does she agree? Does she turn her away?
禁煙種の種だそうです。これを代わりにヒンメル様の像の周りに植えるというのは。分かったよ、フェルン。心配させてしまったね。私一人の時間ってわけでもない。潮時だ。もう少し探したら切り上げるよ。もう少しって何年ですか？もう少しだよ。あなたは本当に諦めが。
The seed rat. Maybe he's gonna find the seeds of the blue moon weed flower, or whatever it's called. Maybe that's the answer all along.
フリーレン様はなぜ魔法を集めているのですか？ただの趣味だよ。そうは思えません。本当にただの趣味だよ。前はもっと無気力にダラダラと生きていたんだけどね。
Only sit around doing nothing for so long before you get restless. Or maybe it's the fact that because she's already done something so insane like defeating the Devil King and adventuring with these people, that everything afterwards can't possibly live up to that. So now she's just sort of getting by. He's got some riz, that guy.
褒めてくれたバカがいた。それだけだよ。 くだらない理由ですね。そうだね。
So she's doing it because of him? Kind of like how Fern was doing it because of Hyther. They do have a lot in common. Just like Frieren said. And there it is. It's one of the petals.
何箇所にも埋めるから、よく埋めた場所を忘れるんだ。草月草？
僕の故郷の花でね。とても美しいんだ。まあ、僕ほどではないんだけどね。
そろそろ
This guy.
フリーレン、いつか君に見せてあげたい。
そう、機会があればね。
There they are. It's beautiful.
あるとは思っていたけど、まさかこれほどとはね。遅くなったね。ヒンメル。
I don't know, why is this getting me so emotional? I'm not like, I can't say I'm like truly locked in yet. It's only 2 episodes, but like,
なんでそんなに魔法に一生懸命に。
it just feels so passionate. This has so much soul to it.
わかるはずだ。
It's infectious.
フェルンだって魔法使いになることを諦めなかった。それは違います。私は一人で生きていける力さえ手に入れば何でもよかったのです。
But you didn't, and you stuck with it.
でも魔法を選んだ。
Exactly.
This shit means something to me, man.
まさかもう一度草月草が見られるなんてね。
That's so cool.
本当に綺麗。ありがとうね、フリーレンさん。これならきっとこの像も忘れられずに済むわ。
忘れるところだった。よし。
Give him a little flower crown.
可愛らしい。
Just like he gave
そ
her.
れじゃあ行こうか。
That's cute. This is so nice, man. This is just so nice. My heart feels full. So I've got 2 things going through my mind right now. The first one is that I love this show. Already I love it. I know I'm gonna end up loving it more, but so far I am so pleasantly surprised and impressed. Just like the first episode, I think I like this episode even more than the first. This show just has so much passion in it. It's got so much soul. I think a good word I would use to describe it is that it's sensitive. It knows how to stop and reflect on these moments, these small moments like finding these blue weed flowers. The second thing going through my mind is that this show is so insanely good already that it's almost hard to talk about it. The fact that someone like Frieren, with her incredibly long life, with so many memories that she's proven she does remember very specific details. She remembers conversations she had with people like Heimel. She remembers a lot of very specific things like the blue weed flower that he really brought up that one time, because that moment, whether she realized it or not at the time, was really important to her. The fact that Frieren can dedicate so much time to finding just this one flower for somebody that's long gone, and for herself, the fact that she's actually taking time to explore this emotional part of herself, and she finally gets to the end of it, she finds the flowers, and in that moment she stops and she takes it in. She's got so much time that maybe she doesn't even think to stop and take things in because she doesn't think they're going to be important. But it's those moments that you stop and you literally smell the roses. I mean, they're not roses, but you stop and smell the flowers, that the sweet moments come, and she seems peaceful. She seems happy in that moment. It's so nice. And of course, it wasn't only for her, but it was for Heimel, it was for the villagers and that old lady specifically. It was also a good lesson to Fern to take time to do things for yourself, that even if it's not easy, even if you might not think the answer exists, to dedicate that time and to come out on the other side, it's worth it. It was worth it in the end for Frieren, and I'm sure Fern understands that too. Just like all that time it took for Fern to master her magic to blow a hole in the rock. She got there and she was happy she did it that whole time. And it was never just for her, it was for Hyther too. Man, it all comes around already. In just 2 episodes, it's managed to draw so many loops between characters and so many different meanings. It's so pleasant, it's so nice, it's so easy to absorb, but also it has so much substance to think about from both a plot perspective, from a character perspective, and for just a lesson perspective, taking it in and applying it to your own life. Something I love to do with the stuff I watch. Just all in all, another really fantastic episode. I'm really happy I started this series. Thank you guys so much for watching my reaction to episode 2. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. Tell me what these episodes mean to you. Tell me what you're thinking about when you're watching them, because I imagine it's really hard to watch this and not have some thoughts. Tell me what you think about my discussions. Tell me what you think about the show in general. Please, I read every comment, so it's never wasted. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.